with Wemby wobble. The Spurs star goes down with his team and they fall apart. How much trouble are they in? And that wasn't the only upset. The Kings stuns the Rockets again, the biggest shocker of them all. Did you see what the Sixers did to the Celtics? And one day until the NFL draft, the love story is Jeremiah surging into the top three. Shefty and Schrager have all the info you need to know as we get you ready. The stage is set in Pittsburgh near Acrisure Stadium. Fans from the Steel City always show up. More than 100,000 expected to watch the draft tomorrow night in person. It is such an event. Schools are closed. Yeah. Oh. Good Wednesday morning. Greeny's getting ready for tomorrow's draft. Kevin Nagani here with you with our crew in New York. Big Perk. We got Vince Goodwill as well, ready to talk about a stunning night in the NBA. Our NFL crew, including J-Mac here with me and Shefty and Schrager in Pittsburgh. We'll get to them in a moment. But let's start with the game of the night, and it's the Blazers visiting the Spurs. You think the series is over after game one? Think again. Wembanyama receiving the Defensive Player of the Year award in front of the home crowd. They love him. Jeremy Grant late in the first quarter. Blazers up by 5. Gets rejected by Wemby. Here we go. Great defense. Other side. Wemby midair. Oh, Steph Castle in the corner. Spurs would lead by 1 after the first. Early second quarter. Things change. It's a 2-point game. Wemby attacking. Gets tripped. Oh no. Okay, Perk. You're a big man. What's that like falling?
I don't know, Wemby, but Kev, but 7-7 hitting the ground like that, face first, it looked bad.
He would be out the remainder of the game, entering the concussion protocol. The game tied at 57 at the half. So fourth quarter now. Spurs up by 4. Devin Vassell off the screen. Stop, pop, and drop.
I love the midi. I love the guard-on-guard screen. De'Aaron Fox attacking. Luke Cornett showing a little baseline, let me get jiggy with it. And then Stephon Castle getting ripped. Hey, look, the Portland Trail Blazers, they're a team that compete, led by Drew Holiday defensively. They're a feisty bunch.
So they're within 8 after that 3. Next Blazers of possession. Holiday to Kamara. Back to Holiday to 3. You're seeing the veteran leadership of the point guard.
And that's why they wanted Drew Holiday, and they kept him. But guess what? This was about Scoot Henderson. You heard him in the post-game interview. He was talking about he channeled his Beyonce-type atmosphere. He woke up like this.
Henderson had 31 points.
That's what he said.
We had Robert Williams in the corner missing, but Holiday is there. And then we haven't seen their big star, Denny, and he took over as well.
He did. Look, and the thing is when you're able to get yours and make guys around you better, great awareness, great pass at the crucial time.
5 seconds left. Spurs inbounding down 3. They got the look. Matisse Thybulle, really good defense there with the hand. And the Blazers steal one on the road, 106-103, to tie this game at 1, and they go to Portland later in the week. Despite Wemby going down early, the Spurs, look at this. They had a 14-point lead with 8.5 left to go in the game. That's where it all crumbled. Portland outscoring San Antonio 27-10 over that final 8.5, shooting 10 of 15 to the Spurs 3 of 15. This was San Antonio's largest blown lead in the fourth quarter of a playoff game since 2003. And back here with K. Perk and Vince as well. Let's start with Wemby. This is more than just a game. This is a big picture thing. I want to go into the concussion protocol first in the NBA. What's the version here right now that the Spurs are looking at?
I know when we think of concussion protocol, we think of what the NFL is.
Yeah.
You're missing a week in 7 days. The NBA is a little more compressed. 24 to 48 hours per. They can't have any activity. And then there you go. You see it on the screen right there. He cannot come back until he completes the required return to participation process. Has to go through testing. Has to not show any symptoms of a concussion. I think the Spurs are going to be very conservative with this. They have been a conservative organization when it comes to player injuries. I go back to 26 years ago. Tim Duncan had a left meniscus injury. He wound up sitting out the entire playoffs that year. The Spurs were trying to repeat that year, and they let Tim sit because they wanted to view his entire career as opposed to risking something long-term. Perk, what you okay.
How do you feel about that? Because especially there are layers to this. This isn't about one game. This is a Spurs organization as well as the protocol and following that. And it's a superstar. the guy who's 22 years old. How do you view this in layers of game 3 and then big picture?
So when you think about Wemby, you know that he is their system, offensively and defensively. He's a generational talent. His impact on the Spurs is so impactful that when he's on the floor and he is available, they're a championship contender. When he's not on the floor, they're a first-round exit. And they could possibly lose this series. My panic meter is high, higher than my damn blood pressure when it comes to think about them going into Portland with this series tied 1-1 and possibly not having a generational talent on the floor. Portland is an underrated fan base. It is a hostile environment. And when you're led by a guy like Jrue Holiday with his championship leadership, obviously Denny playing at an all-NBA level, you got guys that are competing over there. And so when you think about the Spurs, the one knock on them is what? Their lack of experience. So every home game matters, right? So losing that home game last night and giving up home court, and now you're walking into Portland without your generational talent, possibly without your generational talent, your panic meter got to be high.
Okay, game 3 is Friday. Game 4 is Sunday. How do you approach this? Do you play him on game 4? How do you look forward to what he can bring to the series after the concussion protocol plays out?
Listen, if he's clear and he's ready to go, I think, if I'm the Spurs, I'm not looking at how we used to do things with Tim Duncan. I'm pushing the issue because it's very seldom that you get an opportunity and you have a window to win championships. And I know Wemby is young, but you want to max out, right? He wants to max out. And I get it. It's different from a meniscus tear than what Tim Duncan had. But if he's cleared, then I will push for him to play.
They've always been very conservative with him, Perk, since they got him. Going back to his rookie season and the blood clots and everything else, they don't want to take any chances because they know they have such a long runway. We didn't expect anything from this San Antonio team going into the season. They're still kind of playing with house money. There's no championship or else edict right now. And generally, you should be able to win a road game in Portland. I understand that they're inexperienced. If you look at it, they had a double-digit lead with 6 minutes left. They had to fully collapse for them to lose last night. So I still would have some confidence in them that they'll be able to get a road game.
You don't have your defensive player of the year in the lineup, and that's where you see the difference in that fourth quarter.
They come out of this with several injuries, and the way that the Blazers were able to take advantage of it, attacking the paint, the way the Spurs offense sort of eroded, especially their three-point shooting without Victor to space the floor, it really is going to be a gut check moment for the Spurs.
Was chuckling with Iman Shumpert on Monday evening about Wembanyama and how he truly messes up everything you want to do on offense single-handedly. How did Portland exploit his absence in terms of paint points? I mean, I think you had the numbers, but it was obvious.
Well, the first quarter, which Victor played 9 minutes of, Portland goes 9 of 12 in the paint, okay? He's a difference maker there. The other 3 quarters, they go 17 of 32. I mean, that's all you need to know. And I got to take my hat off to the Blazers in this game. Denny Avdia, I think, was being bothered by a sore back or something in this game. He doesn't score in the fourth quarter, and they're down 14. And they manufacture a road victory, a group that has not had a playoff win together, much less a road playoff win, to get even and go home with home court advantage. Scoot Henderson with the game of his young career, to Monty Kamara playing his second ever playoff game, scores 8 of his 10 points in the fourth quarter. Even though Wembanyama is the story here and going forward, the Blazers pulled this out without their fastball in certain circumstances tonight, and they should be recognized for that.
That's such a great point because so much is made of San Antonio's relative playoff inexperience. It's not relative, it's real. Same thing applies to Portland. They get this victory.